योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। एतस्मिन् वेदशास्त्र काव्यनाटकालङ्कार विविधविद्यावादविजृम्भित आघोषमुखरीकृत अशेषदिगन्तरालबहुल भूदेवसभामध्ये सर्वाम् इमां परिषदं साञ्जलिपुटोऽहं प्रणम्य किञ्चित् दत्तशीर्षके वक्तुकामोऽस्मि। मया तु पृष्टं कस्यां भाषायाम् अत्र भवतु इति, तैरुक्तं संस्कृते वा आङ्ग्लभाषायां वा हिन्दीभाषायां वा भवतु इति। भवता यथा आदिश्यते तथा कर्तुम् इच्छामि। किम् अभिलषितम्? प्रायः संस्कृतं जानीयुः सर्वे? हाँ? एवं भवतु। तत्र भारतीयविज्ञानपरम्परा इति इमं शीर्षकमधिकृत्य भाषणीयमिति आदिष्टः। तत्र ओ भैया ओके, प्रथमतः विज्ञानशब्दमधिकृत्य किञ्चित् वदामि। विज्ञानशब्दस्तु वि इत्युपसर्गपूर्वकज्ञाधातोः निष्पन्नम् इति वयं जानीमः। परन्तु वि इत्युपसर्गस्य कः अर्थः अस्माभिः ग्राह्यः? विशिष्टः इत्यर्थो ग्राह्यो वा, अथवा विविधम् इत्यर्थः ग्राह्यो वा, अथवा विरुद्धः इत्यर्थो ग्राह्यो वा? त्रयः अपि अर्थाः अस्माभिः धर्तुं शक्यन्ते तत्तत् प्रदेशानुसारं। तदर्थं किञ्चित् वदामि। तत्र विज्ञानशब्दस्य एवं तत्र निरुक्तिः विद्यते, मोक्षेधीः ज्ञानम् अन्यत्र विज्ञानं शिल्पशास्त्रयोः इति एकम् आभाणकं वर्तते। तथा च तत्र सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म इत्यत्र ज्ञानशब्देन अस्माभिः किं ग्राह्यम् इत्युक्तौ ब्रह्मैव ग्राह्यम्, अथवा तत् प्रतिपादकं यद्वर्तते तत् शास्त्रमपि ग्राह्यम् इति वयं कथयामः। तदानीं तु विशिष्टं ज्ञानमित्यर्थः धर्तुं शक्यते। परन्तु तत्र तत्प्राप्तिहेतुः विज्ञानं कर्मचोक्तं महामुने इति एकं वाक्यं विष्णुपुराणात् वर्तते। प्रसिद्धं वाक्यं, तत्र शास्त्रीयः अयं विषयः। तत्र विज्ञानशब्देन किं ग्राह्यम् इत्युक्तौ ज्ञानम् इति शब्देन यद् अभिहितं तदेव अस्माभिः ग्राह्यं भवति। तत्र भगवद्गीतायाम् इदं तु ते गुह्यतमं प्रवक्ष्याम्यनसूयवे ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितं यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् इति नवमाध्यायारम्भे एकं पद्यम् अस्ति। तत्र ज्ञानं विज्ञानसहितम् इति प्रयोगः कृतः वर्तते। तत्र विज्ञानशब्देन अस्माभिः किं ग्राह्यम् इत्युक्तौ भगवत्पादाः कथयन्ति अत्र अनुभवः ग्राह्यः इति। तत्र पश्यतु, विज्ञानसहितम् अनुभवयुक्तम् इति लिखन्ति। तथा च विज्ञानशब्देन इदानीं भवता यत् प्रतिपादितं तत् अनुभवार्थं भवता प्रतिपादितं, यत्तु वस्तुतः अस्माभिः भण्यते तस्य रेकार्डिङ्ग् कृत्वा सिग्नल् द्वारा भवता प्रतिपाद्यते, तेन प्रतीतिः स्पष्टा भविष्यति इति कृत्वा। तथा च विज्ञानशब्देन इमे अर्थाः सर्वे ग्राह्याः भवन्ति। परन्तु भारतीयविज्ञानपरम्परा इत्यत्र भवता यदभिप्रेतं तत् अनेन न लभ्यते। तर्हि अत्र किम् अस्माभिः ग्राह्यम् इत्युक्तौ विविधम् इति वि इत्युपसर्गेण तदेव ग्राह्यं भवति। तदर्थमपि तत्र पद्यानि विद्यन्ते। चतुर्दशानां विद्यानां धारणं हि यथार्थतः विज्ञानमितरं विद्या धर्मो विवर्धते। अत्र पश्यतु, अत्र किं लिखन्ति? अधीत्य विविधम् अधीत्य विधिवत् विद्याम् अर्थञ्च एव उपलभ्यतु धर्मकार्यान् निवृत्तश्चेत् न तद् विज्ञानमिष्यते इत्यपि लिखन्ति। तथा च किं जातं? चतुर्दशानां विद्यानां धारणम् इत्यारभ्य तत्र विज्ञानम् इत्यनेन चतुर्दशविद्याः अपि अस्माभिः ध्रियन्ते। अतः एतदुक्त्वा अनन्तरं ज्ञानशब्देन किम् अस्माभिः ग्राह्यम् इत्युक्तौ याजदेवो भगवान् विद्यते साक्षादेव महादेवः तज्ज्ञानमिति कीर्तितम् इति। तथा च किमायातं तत्र विशिष्टं ज्ञानम् इति अस्माभिः क्वचित् ग्राह्यं, क्वचित् विज्ञानशब्दः ज्ञानार्थे एव प्रयुज्यते, क्वचिच्च विविधं ज्ञानम् इति अस्माभिः ग्राह्यं। कुत्र विरुद्धमिति ग्राह्यं कथयामि। ह्यः मुरलीमनोहरजोशी महाभागैः यदुक्तम् आद्यत्वे तद् स्वीकृत्य एव अहम् इदानीं कथयामि। अत्र पश्यतु, वेरेवर् वि मैण्ड्लेस्लि स्टार्ट् यूसिङ्ग् टेक्नालजि तत्र विरुद्धं ज्ञानं भवति तदेव। यज्ञानम् अस्माभिः यत् विज्ञानशब्देन अभिधीयते तत्र विवेकपूर्वकं यदि उपयुज्यते तर्हि विज्ञानं भविष्यति। तेन च किं भवति इत्युक्तौ धर्मो विवर्धते, अत्र तु अधर्मः विवर्धते। यदि विरुद्धं तदा भवति, तत्र विवेकविज्ञानेन विना यदि विज्ञानस्य उपयोगः क्रियते, तदर्थम् अहम् इदानीम् उदाहरणपूर्वकं प्रदर्शयिष्यामि। तत्र अस्माकं शास्त्रेष्वपि कथयन्ति, तत्र आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे चरकसंहितायाम् एकं पद्यम् एवमस्ति, शास्त्रं ज्योतिःप्रकाशार्थं दर्शनं बुद्धिरात्मनः ताभ्यां भिषक् सुयुक्ताभ्यां चिकित्सन् नापराध्यति। पश्यतु, तत्र विज्ञानशब्देन यद्यदस्माभिः ग्राह्यं तत् सर्वं धर्तुं शक्यते विविधं ज्ञानं, परन्तु तेन को लाभः? साक्षात् तस्य विनियोगः क्रियते चेत् कदाचित् अपराधः भवेम। तदर्थं कथयन्ति शास्त्रं ज्योतिःप्रकाशार्थं, तावदेव। दर्शनं बुद्धिरात्मनः इति एतत् कथयन्ति, ताभ्यां भिषक् सुयुक्ताभ्यां, तत्र आत्मनः यत् बुद्धिः वर्तते तस्य उपयोगेन विना केवलं तस्माभिः यत् सम्पादितं तस्य विनियोगः क्रियते चेत् अपराध्यति। यदि अस्य उपयोगः क्रियते तर्हि चिकित्सन् नापराध्यति इति विशिष्टम् अत्र व्याख्यानं तत्र तैः लिखितमस्ति। अस्य इदानीं व्याख्यातुम् अवकाशः नास्ति, अतः एतत् सूचयामि। अत्र पश्यतु कथम् अस्य विनियोगः अद्यत्वे जायते इति। अत एव अहम् अप्लिकेशन् आफ् सैन्स् एण्ड् टेक्नालजि एतत् पत्रिकायाम् आगतं, गार्डियन् मध्ये April 4, 2017। कश्चन चैनीस् वर्तते, दिस् फेलो क्रियेटेड् ए रोबो and married her. I am not joking. Okay, why did this fellow choose that? He is a brilliant fellow. Robo, you just marry her. This is science and technology. किमर्थम् अस्माभिः परिणेयं? प्रजानां खलु, प्रजोत्पत्तये खलु, न सुखाय, प्रजोत्पत्तये। पश्यतु अग्रे why did this fellow do this? Maybe constantly nagged by the family, kanya na labdha, athava. So it is very difficult to handle her, her emotions with the wife. So you can have a machine, whatever you want you can make. Athava failing to get a human spouse, tadapi bhavati. Kutaha aham etat kathayami, atra pashyatu, Chinese, they evolved one child, one policy. एतत् सर्वं विज्ञानस्य प्रभावः। इदानीं किं जायमानमस्ति, जपान् मध्ये वा भवतु अत्र वा भवतु, यदि धर्मविरुद्धं विज्ञानस्य उपयोगः क्रियते इदानीं तैः फलम् अनुभूयते। दिस् डेमोग्राफिक् डिविडेण्ड्, so we have to understand this. Vijnana cannot be used just like that. It is only going to lead you to disaster. अतएव एतत् कृतमस्ति। चैनीस् मध्ये पश्यतु इदानीं 113 versus 100. Male 113, female 100. How will you get? So this is, I will get you another interesting thing. I was traveling in Europe. Then in the flight I just picked up a paper. This you should know. This is what is happening. The line of thinking you should just see. Today there is a much disturbing phenomenon. We keep talking of climate change. Carbon dioxide emission iti vadamaha. Atra pashyatu CO2 emission. Tadartham kim karyam? So there is an agency which is called so there is an interesting thing. We should actually think of अतएव अहम् एतत् कथयामि, भारतीयविज्ञानपरम्परायाः अयमेव विशेषः वर्तते यत् यस्य उपयोगः यावत् कर्तव्यं तावदेव कर्तव्यम् इति बहुधा बहुभिः प्रमाणैः एतैः निरूपितम् अस्ति सहस्रशः वर्षेभ्यः अनुभवपूर्वकम् एतत् ज्ञातव्यम् क्षणमात्रेण अस्माभिः एतत् अप्रयोजनम् इति वक्तुं न शक्यते अतः एते किं कुर्वन्ति अद्यत्वे चिन्तनं पश्यतु so this COG is just coming CO2 how are you going to avoid this so this is a photo for that now what is being planned I will just show you in the next slide there is something called European Academy Science Advisory Council EASAC so the professor there recommends that we will create huge industries to recycle this carbon dioxide. You understand the effect? It is like standing on a branch and then cutting the branch. I mean, you are creating one more industry. How will you create that industry? Evam chintanam asti. Ataha pashyatu tatra. That's why I wanted to say. They did not understand the negative effects of that. For everything, I mean, you try to find a solution, you have a headache, you find solution, something will happen, you put one more injection, where is the end? So just, I want to tell you, this is how I was, natu vayam, ahamapi evameva asam. Asmakam vijnana parampara ityukto etadeva iti ahamapi chintayan asam. Till my MSc, I was doing regular physics. Where is Sanskrit used? Evam. Etadeva aham chintitavan asam. Parantu kim asti? This is land of chanting for various purposes iti chintitam. Parantu yadirchaya yadirchatu tadichha syat iti vadamaha. Yadirchaya tatra ganitadikam adhyetum avakashaha labdhaha. Tadanim aham atyantam ascharyajakitaha etaihi yad kritam tat vijnaya. एतेषां विज्ञानम् अद्यत्वे न भवति इति इयमेव शोचनीया स्थितिः किं किं ज्ञातम् इति किञ्चित् कथयामि अद्यत्वे समयः यः अस्माभिः गण्यते सः समयः केन निर्धार्यते ग्रहाणां चालनेन परन्तु वयम् एतत् न जानीमः we are just celebrating this Gregorian calendar which is absolutely meaningless. So our calendrical system is a beautiful calendrical system. We have to understand that and the basis of that has to be understood. So this time is something which is decided by the motion of the sun and the moon and it has been so thoroughly studied in this and in this context the enormous amount of mathematics got developed in India. Bharatiya Vijnana Parampara Kutaha Samutpanna iti etathartham idanim vadami etat. Ayam drashtaraha atra upari sthitva vayam pashyamaha. So etat kshitijam iti kathayamaha khagolam iti sarvatra varnanam vartate. Etat sarvam kimapi na jnatavan aham till my postgraduate in physics. Parantu eteshu bahudha varnitam asti. Hyaha etaihi Murali Manohar Mahashayaihi Joshi तैः केचन विषयाः उद्धृताः येषां पट्टिकाम् एवं केवलं दास्यामि तत्र विवरणं न करिष्यामि. So if you just take science, what are the important sciences that have got developed today in terms of today's knowledge? I am saying astronomical sciences, chemical sciences, mathematical sciences, agricultural sciences, psychological sciences, medicinal sciences and spiritual. Of course, that is something which is superb. Nobody can beat us. On the other side, look at the technology aspect. We had water harvesting, iron and steel. Etad vishayah uktavantah. Anantaram casting statues. Kutrapi gatva pashyatu. Amazing. It is such a pity today. I am telling you. Recently I went to Hyderabad to see this 108 feet Ramanujam statue. I was told that Chinese came and made this for you. What a shame. We were makers whose exhibits is found all over the world. And today, to make a Ramanujam statue, we import everything and also the workers here to get the statue made. What happened to our skills? So, casting statues, shipbuilding, construction of temples, textile manufacturing, town planning, there are so many things about which you can talk about Bharatiya Vijnana Parampara. And everything is actually called as Shastra here. You call Artha Shastra, Kama Shastra, Nyaya Shastra, Natya Shastra, Sangeeta Shastra, Chikitsa Shastra, etc. So, I'll just tell you what has happened today. This is just a picture I wanted to show you. What is this picture? So this is Government Sanskrit College, Varanasi, which I think is called today Sampurnananda. There is a specific reason why I am bringing this picture to you. So here you see at the center someone called Bapu Deva Shastri, amazing scholar, bright mind. So he is teaching. He is teaching what? You see the globe in front of him. So he is teaching astronomy. Do you find any of the students having any book, notebook? Okay, so just see this. So there is one thing which has been presented in front of them. Today, we make use of all these devices. So A for Apple, this is Apple, B for Bluetooth, C for chat, and so on and so forth. D for download. This is what is happening. The ability that we have to retain things in our mind has been completely lost. And while teaching mathematics, we feel that we don't need to do multiplication tables. What a pity it is. These devices are useful, but they cannot replace the greatest device which we are blessed with. And that has been thoroughly understood by us, and we made use of both. In our Vijnana Parampara, 6 months was Adhyanam, 6 months was Shastradhyanam. This is how things were going. I'll just tell you one brilliant mathematician's comment. We had this Ramanujan, famous figure. Everyone talks about him. So a beautiful article has been written by A. Iyengar, Taihi Likhitam Asti Atra Pashyatu. The distinction between Indian science and other sciences, how we were practicing. Etat Pathitavyam. Every mathematician now feels that the complexities of modern mathematics are getting piled one over another into a potentious heap. So much so that the eyebrow confounds simplicity with triviality. There is a simple procedure that has been given, but the simplicity is not equivalent to triviality. They made us feel that these are trivial things, not true. That is why I wanted to bring this attention. Okay? So we can just use terms. It is remarkable that the Indian genius should arise who could do without all European elaborations and could plunge straight into modern mathematics and come up with dazzlingly new results. So this is what I learnt, I tell you. So I have studied till MSc Physics, a lot of mathematics and physics, but when I entered into this domain of looking at some of these Shastras, I really felt the simplicity with which they have been able to explain things which is being shared with IIT students, I am telling you. Most of the students, they get just surprised. The way it is being presented in a completely different manner. So this is something which is essential for us to understand. Bharatiya Vijnana Parampara, we just can't, just because there is some other method, we can't just throw this out. There are a lot of interesting things which will be highly useful from a pedagogical viewpoint, if not for anything else. Etadeva maya vaktavyam asit. And then just wait. I have taken 16 minutes. Okay. Okay. I'll just tell you, our astronomy was so superb. So John Playfair, so who was writing and studying the calculations which have been done by Indian astronomers and the perfection with which they will be able to predict the results, he analyzed and then he proposes 3 hypotheses. Etat sarvam pure coincidence. Yadrichya etat sarvam etaihi labhyate iti ekaha upayaha samarthayitum. Aparascha upayaha ayam kathayati, there was a Newton among the Brahmins. See, some ages ago, there had arisen Newton among the Brahmins to discover the universal principle and connect. Tattu nasit. Nabhavitum arhati cha. Nabhavitum arhati cha. Atahat yadachaya etat labhyate iti sapakshaha tyajyaha. Newton nasit iti sapakshopi tyajyaha. Tarihi kim vaktavyam ityuktau. Observations were made in India when all Europe was barbarous or uninhabited, and those made in Europe 5,000 years afterwards came in mutual support. Ataha yeshaya parampara सा परंपरा बहोः कालात् प्रवर्तमाना वर्तते इत्यस्माभिः ज्ञेयम्। तत्र किं जातम् इति वयं न जानीमः। एतत् सर्वं त्यक्तं। कुत्र आरब्धम् एतत् सर्वम्? अतः एतत् प्रदर्शयतु। अत्र वेदिनिर्माणविषये तत्र शुल्बसूत्रादिकं विद्यते। तत्र फलम् एरिया इति उच्यते. The area of circle should be same as the area of square. So these constraints make us discover some mathematical interesting things. And we have this so brilliant important theorem called Pythagorean theorem iti namna vyavahriyate. Etat Sulba-sutre prathamatah vidyate. Bodhayana Sulba-sutre dirgha chaturashrasya akshnaya rajjuhu parshvamani tiryangmani chayat prithak bhute kurutaha tadubhayam karoti. This is something which is fundamental to geometry, I am telling you. One of the most fundamental theorems in geometry, which has plenty of applications. Even if you want to design a roof, so you just see in this, it is all only through this. One can think of hundreds of applications for this. So we have to take pride in having done this. Then, so you see, this is how our Shastrakaras were there. Atra padyam pathantu. Atha pruthukimutantreihi dhimato bhuriyantreihi swakarakalitayashtehe datta moolagradrishhtehe natad aviditamanam vastu yad drishyamanam divi bhuvi cha jalastham prochyate thasthalastham. See the beauty of composition. Shabda alankaraha pravahati. So the other aspect is, so the simplicity, I was just telling you, the simplicity of devices should be considered as something which is remarkable, but it has been trivialized. So he is just saying with this simple device, atha pruthukimu yantraihi, why have so much of devices? With this small device, if I can do that. So that is how the brilliance had worked. So that is what I wanted to convey. That is the distinction between Bharatiya Vijnana Parampara and other Parampara. I will just keep only one verse I am just going to tell you. To give mathematical problems a nice flavor in science. See, today it is so boring. If you just look at the equations and solving, that is why people develop math phobia. Look at the kind of mathematical problem that is being presented here. Akaranya dhvani madri murdhni shikhino dhanam spurad vidyutam vrindardhatrilavau tadantara chatur bhagaistribhis sanyutau adhyarthaika padadhiko nanritatuhu prityapta vrindau sakhe jatam tatra shatatrayam pravadame tatpurva vrinde kati. There are dozens of examples like this in every field of mathematics. So this is how the mathematics has to be taught, with nice interesting examples, and then children will love mathematics. Otherwise they will only hate mathematics. So this is how, this is the equation that they have to form. The other aspect is, we have to understand today NEP, we are talking about NEP, no? NEP emphasizes on language. So you put something in language and they have to translate into equation. This is one of the most difficult problems which is being faced by US students. When I went to US in Seattle to give a lecture, they were saying, children, fine, word problems difficult. I did not understand what is word problem. A problem posed in words. That is what word problem. Nothing more. That is what they explained to me. Why? So it is simply because of this. So you do not develop that ability in the child to carefully follow what is being said. And if you carefully follow, you need not even have paper. You can formulate the equation in your own mind. That is why I showed that chitra. That kind of potential that we have is something which is lost today, and I don't know whether it is a gain or loss. So it is up to us to think. So this has to be integrated with us. There are several hundred problems. I am just coming to the last slide. So you will find such beautiful descriptions. Bale marala kula moola dalani sapta tire vilasa bharamandhara ganya pashyam kurvachake kalaham kalaham sayugmam shesham jale vadamarala kula pramanam. See how beautiful. Children, will they not enjoy if you teach this rhyme? instead of teaching Baba black sheep. Okay, a word of a word of caution. When we present what is there in the Indian science, Bharatiya Vijnana Paramparayam, we have to be doubly careful. Utkarshotsavaha किमर्थं प्रचाल्यते उत्कर्षतां प्रदर्शयितुं न तु उत्कर्षतां आरोपयितुम् एतत् ज्ञातव्यम् आरोपः यदि क्रियते तर्हि निन्दा एव प्राप्यते यदि विद्यमानस्य कथनं क्रियते तर्हि उत्कर्षः प्राप्यते अयम् उत्कर्ष उत्सवः महोत्सवः एतदर्थं प्रचाल्यते अस्माभिः सावधानैर्भूत्वा यः उत्कर्षः वर्तते सः स्वयं प्रकाशेत यदि अत्र अवधानं दीयेत अत्र अनवहिता भूत्वा वयं तदेव तत्रैव वर्तते उत्कर्षः इति भ्रान्त्या तत्र प्रविष्टाः एषा भ्रान्तिः निवारिता भवति चेत् so this is just last advice concluding remark even Aurobindo was a great intellect now we are celebrating so you see we are celebrating today so this is 1872 150th year is being celebrated. He was a brilliant mind, no doubt. He just said, break the molds of the past, but keep safe its genius and its spirit, or else thou hast no future. Yatadeva asmabhi uchyate puranamityeva na sadhu sarvamiti. Kim karyam? Tatra vidyalayeshu, mahavidyalayeshu, vishwavidyalayeshu cha yete ye vishayaha vartante te prabodhyaha. Tadartham prabodhakaha utpadaniyaha. So that is a major thing. Prabodhakan utpadayitum tadartham prabandhaha rachaniyaha. So we have to focus on curriculum planning, content planning and content generation. So just because we cannot just feel happy yesterday that we have become Central University, we have become this university, that universities. So today, I mean it is a sad state of affairs, all of us know, but it is the time for us to think. Are we committing ourselves? Are we committing ourselves? These scholars whom I was mentioning, this Bapudeva Shastri, etc., they were working under terrible condition. Today I am talking about even IITs. We want more facilities, more facilities, more facilities. Where is the end? You have been provided facilities. How much are you working towards building pride in nation, trying to gain this knowledge? Etadeva छात्राः उत्पादनीयाः अध्यापकाः उत्पादनीयाः एतावता उक्त्वा अहं विरमामि नत्वा क्षम्यताम्